What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I am back for a roundtable discussion. I have a live panel with me, and first on the docket, I'm going to introduce to you is VKJ. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right,
What's going on, people? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
ready.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey,
Let's get it.
Mr. VKJ. This is his first time. I've been on his channel plenty of
Yes, sir.
times, but this is the first time he has graced my channel. So
Yes.
welcome, Jay, to the panel. All
Thank
right,
you very
y'all.
much. I appreciate you.
All right. Next on the docket is Miss Tiffany, and she is from the spot Real Talk. I've been on her channel. She's been on my channel. So, yes, you guys know and love her. Just say hello. Give her some warm welcomes in the chat. Hey, Tiff.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Hey, hey, hey. All right. Now we have my childhood friend, my adult friend. We have Mr. Ray Massey, the boxing expert. He is coming to us from the A-Side Boxing Podcast.
The
Check
champ
him
is
out.
here. The champ is here.
The champ is
All right
here.
now. All right now. All right.
The champ is here. So Ray, y'all welcome him very nicely in the chat. Okay. And also too, I have my boy Brillo.
What's good?
Brillo, the big review. All right, y'all. We've all, he's fam. Okay. So yes,
What up, bros?
everybody knows Brills. That is my main apple scrapple. Make sure y'all make sure y'all give him a warm welcome in the chat as well. We are here to talk about Creed 3, y'all. Creed 3. It was such a great experience. I've seen the movie 3 times. Three times, y'all. Yes. I had a couple of advanced screenings and then I went to go see it with my partner. So yes, it was a great experience. But what I will tell you is each time I saw it, I picked holes in it and I just not liked it less, but it just didn't have the same impact as the other movies. So that's my hot take. That is my hot take. But what I do want to go around to my panelists, and we're going to talk about, first of all, your overall thoughts on it. Y'all can go wherever you want to go. And I'll start with the ladies first. Tiffany, she saw it yesterday. So it's fresh on your mind. How do you feel about it? Give us some general thoughts.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. I was really impressed with Jonathan Majors.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he did his thing. I keep reading that people keep saying this is probably the best of the franchise. And I think it's really good. I mean, I think it is, but at the same time, I'm still partial to the original.
Yeah.
Because it sets up the whole, franchise, and Rocky and stuff. And plus, I'm originally from Philly. So, that too. So, the whole history of Philly and everything and how he initially met Bianca and everything. So I love this movie because I love how it came full circle with
and we're
Bianca.
in
I love their relationship. And I loved his relationship with the daughter.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be talking about little Amara soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Brillo, what about you?
I mean, I wasn't really expecting it's a Rocky type movie, so I really wasn't expecting much. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't watch it again. Definitely wouldn't watch it again. But like I said, it wasn't bad. It was like a typical Rocky movie, in my opinion. I know it's a movie, but some of it was just a little too outlandish. Like, first of all, why were they so mad at my man? Like he was doing something wrong. I'm talking about Jonathan Major, Dame. I was rooting for Dame, even though I know
I heard
was
that.
not going to win. But I'm
Usually
like,
root for the criminals. Bros usually root for the criminals, the bad guy.
Dame didn't really, So I definitely enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but I would give it like if I was grading it in my class, I'd give it like a C plus.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Vacay J, let's see what you got.
I personally love the movie. All right. First movie to be shot, right, with IMAX cameras. First boxing movie to be shot with IMAX camera.
Mhm.
And again, I saw it in IMAX. So if you're going to see this movie, see it in IMAX. Don't see it on the trigger net. Y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see it on the trigger net, you're not gonna get the full effect.
Same impact.
You're not gonna get the full effect. I love the cinematography, right? I love ASL all day. I love the inclusion of that. I loved it all. I really, out of all three franchises, the first one, of course, is the setup. Right. This is the third one. So it was you kind of anticipated, what was going to happen. You knew little Donnie, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you, Donnie. But little Donnie, you knew he was going to win at the end. But
That's
overall,
grapes. That's one of my grapes.
But this is a Creed 3 movie. He is going to win. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, right? He did get his butt whipped, right? But I thought it was great. I mean, especially the part, that slow motion part where you hit him in the gut and his eyes almost popped out his head. I love that, right? I love that part. So overall, I really liked it. Again, you got to see it in IMAX, though. You got to see it in IMAX.
You do. My first viewing, I saw it, and it was like this small theater. Like I said, it was an advanced screening, and I was like, "Why is it not loud? Why is it not hitting? Why is it?" Like I just kept on, I was like, "Where's the volume at? Like I need the impact."
IMAX is loud, it's clear, it's incredible.
Yeah. So when I did see it in Dolby and I saw it in IMAX, it definitely gave it the impact that it needed. But I still feel like it still should be at a certain sound or something. Like it did the first one, it really kind of soured me just a little bit as far as I was like, something is missing. Some flavor was missing with it. But I like I said, I got some gripes, but it's overall a good movie. And I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Ray. Ray, what you got to say?
Well, hello. I won't be biased because I have a relationship. I actually know one of the actors on there, Patrice Harris. He played the guy working the mitts for Creed. Of course, the inclusion of a lot of real life fighters is what I like. They had Canelo Alvarez. They had Crawford. They had Benavidez there. And even the inclusion of Showtime to make it give it a more realistic view. Stephen, he was on there. It was a star-studded cast. It was solid. The fan in me, I enjoyed it. Like most people would. I think this is a great segue into the Creed verse, if you will. But also like someone mentioned the cinematography. I like the way they from a boxer's point of view, it's hard for us to watch a boxing movie and say, hey, this is real. That was kind of fake. But I like the way they portrayed how when you're in the ring and things are going like 1,000 miles an hour, how at certain points where time seems to slow down, where you see that body shot. And then he saw it again, and then he said, "Don't worry, I got him." That's a real thing. That actually happens in boxing. Sometimes when you're slipping punches, it's almost like driving a car at like 100 miles an hour. Stuff seems like it's going slower rather than faster. As like cars that are doing 60 look like they're doing 20. So I liked it. Again, a solid movie. I give it a B plus. That's my fan. I couldn't give it an A, because my boxing side, I still was a little critical of some of those punches. Didn't really look like they landed, but but it was a really, really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Okay, cool, good.
It's funny that you say that about the boxing and the landing of the punches, because I just watched a few interviews with with Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan earlier today, and they were talking about to film it, they had to punch in a way that they weren't actually landing the punches and stuff. So you probably were actually catching, that choreography, because they talked about how they had to, handle those punches or not land those punches. Like they specifically tried not to land some punches.
Right.
It's one of those movies. You got to look at the whole picture. If you really like drill in on certain things, it'll throw you a little bit. Yeah.
Here's Ray with the actor in the blue shirt.
No, so the actor is in the black shirt. That's Patrice Harris. He's
with glasses. You said the one with the glasses?
No, with the black shirt.
The black shirt, big man with the black shirt. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. So y'all
he was
see
an Olympic fighter for a heavyweight. They called him Boogie because he could get down. I mean, he looked like he was ring. He had a lot of energy, fast hands. He also son is actually this pro, and he is doing outstanding right now in a real so.
All right. And you said what role did he play? Or
he was Creed's mitt person. So he was doing all those fast combinations.
Yeah.
That the timing. Okay. That's the real life thing. That's really hard to do. You have to train to get that timing. It kind of looks, to some, it may look easy, but when you get out there, timing is everything, and it's hard to make those punches land and fall the way they're supposed to fall. If you work on speed and timing, all that other good stuff.
Right. Now that you say it, I do remember. And yes, it don't look easy for nobody. I don't know what I don't know what you mean. That don't look easy at all.
Well, Ray, let me ask you a question, Ray. Like, so you know how they train. Like every Rocky movie, they going like to North Pole and they pulling cars and they pulling planes. Like, have you ever, being a boxing expert, have you ever seen a boxer or anybody train like that, like the movies? I know it's a movie, but these guys are like throwing big truck tires and, have you ever like encountered that in real life?
So strength and conditioning is something different, but with most fighters, especially those hard hitting guys, it's all natural. You don't see that bodybuilding physique but the bodybuilding part is for the movies. A lot of some of these guys, they have frames that they look like they prepare your taxes or something, and they some of the hardest hitting guys you ever seen. Like Canelo Alvarez. No, Triple G. He hits extremely hard. Felix Trinidad. Some of the really hard hitting fighters, they don't even have muscles. They're just naturally strong.
Right. Speaking of which, it looked like a lot of the fights that was in this particular movie, they were not in the right weight class. So we had Chavez and we had Dame. And I'm like, Dame looking like he is like super heavyweight. He looking like he welterweight. And I'm like, what is going on here?
That's how you know it's a movie.
Exactly.
That was always what tainted my dad about seeing Creed, because he's like, I'm a boxing fan. Well, I'm a boxing fan too, but my dad is a real boxing fan and knows stats and everything. And he was just like, it's not realistic. He was just like, Michael B. Jordan is too small to be fighting some of these guys. He was like, it wouldn't happen.
But
so
Tiffany, we can go. I'm sorry to interrupt, Tiffany. We can even go way back to Rocky. Come on, when Rocky fought the Russian dude and Drago, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude was like 6'9" and Rocky was like 5'4". You know, it's a movie. You know what I'm saying? I love it though.
Yeah, you definitely know what you're gonna get when you're watching these type of movie. That's why I don't know what I was setting myself up for. I think I listened to people hype it up, so I was disappointed, but it's my own fault. I don't know what the heck I was expecting. I got exactly what I knew I was gonna get. Like I said, it was not bad, but I don't know what I was expecting going in that theater.
The thing is, what I will say is that I felt like I watched Creed 1 and 2. They're both on HBO Max. If y'all want to refresh yourself, I refreshed myself before I went to go see it. 1 and 2 were way more grounded, especially 1. 1 was very much grounded, felt very realistic. 2, kind of not so much, but 2 is still riding off of Rocky 4. So I gave it that pass for that whole, Drago's son and all that other stuff. So I kind of gave it a pass, but I felt like they were very grounded. Now this one did feel like it was reaching quite a bit. It was a lot of reaching in this movie.
Can I ask you a question, Nita? Can I ask you a question? Do you think the absence of Rocky Balboa made a big difference?
Absolutely. We're gonna get there. We're going to get there. He was sorely missed. I will say that he was sorely missed. There is one particular place where I thought he should have definitely been, and the fact that he wasn't there, I was like, well, damn, did they kill him off? We'll get there, y'all, because I got an outline. Look. I got an outline. Look, we about to get into it. Okay. Right. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. Okay. So I want to talk about some certain aspects of Michael B. Jordan. This is his first time behind the camera. He was very ostentatious and he did it big. He did it with IMAX cameras, which is, I feel like that is like something on a learning curve. So him coming out to bat with the IMAX cameras, that was in and of itself, that was a pretty big thing.
Yes, kudos to him for that.
Yes, absolutely. Kudos to him. I definitely want to give him kudos for very big swings. There were a lot of creative choices that didn't really work for me. And the biggest glaring one that I really want to specify is the final fight when they sucked everybody out of the room and it was just them two. I did not like that. So want to get you guys opinions on that. Anybody want to go first?
I think that was like kind of what my man Ray was saying. I think about, you just locking in and seeing things, just locking in on your opponent and nothing else matters. So that was just to show that they were zoned in. With that being said, Nita, I'm with you. I didn't like it either.
Yeah. I like to see the reaction shots. I like to see the people in the audience. I like to see them going back to the corners, getting their pep talks, getting worked on, get the cut man. That's all.
I feel like the fight could have been longer too. I don't
well, one of the things I noticed is what I took something different from that part. I saw as a fighter, I could relate because when you're in the ring, sometimes the crowd disappears. You can't hear anybody around. People have to tell you about what happened after the fight. And so when you're in one of those fights where you're getting concussed and hit hard like that, sometimes you have flashbacks. I remember I was in the USABF championship and I got hit by this guy one time. I swear, I looked like I was looking through a movie camera. It wasn't even part of my head wasn't even part of my body. It was like I was watching from a third person. But I could see that. I could see how they try to replicate that feeling.
You got
and against with them.
Yes.
I wanted to say I felt differently about that too, because I felt like it was set up that way to emphasize that this was such a personal fight between the two of them. Like it's me and you, and nobody else matters. And it also reminded me, that's not the first time that I've seen that. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley and things. And that there's a scene in the show, in the movie, where she is dancing with Mr. Darcy, and they're at a ball, but they show them dancing and everybody else disappears. And it looks like they're the only ones dancing with each other. And that's how locked in they were to each other and the chemistry. And it was their first dance ever. So that scene reminded me of that. It was because the two of them, this was personal. It was history. their history and everything. And I think that was put there to emphasize that moment.
Yeah, I understood the choice and I loved the choice. It just didn't work for me. And I understood exactly what it was going. It had the symbolism with the bed pillow and then the jail bars. Like I saw all of the symbolism and all of that. But like for me, it just didn't work. But go ahead, Jay. I see you got something to say.
So going along with Tiffany, going along with Ray, as a former performer, when we do perform, we are totally locked in. Everything does like in real life, everything disappears because we're so focused on what we're going to do as performers, as boxers, as entertainers, and everything. So I personally loved it because it was a metaphor. It was like, this is personal. This is like me and you going at it. Not only just on a physical level, it was all mental as well. Mm-hmm. Like these guys were in their heads. They was like, this goes back 20 years.
Yeah.
Of anger and just regret. Right. And just everything. So I personally loved it.
Great. And I know that people have different feelings. It's very subjective and stuff like that. Like I said, I understood the choice, but it just didn't work for me. But it was fine nonetheless. I felt like it cut down. Like I guess what I'm saying is that it cut down on the experience. You didn't get all of the you go from round 1 and then it was round 11 and I was just like, no, I'm missing the fight. Like I wanted, I really enjoyed that, going back and seeing them wear each other out and how they got to cut them, get them together and how they, take the, and how the people are reacting I just love that stuff. So, and I felt like it made it shaved some time off the movie as well. It didn't, the fight wasn't as long as it really could have been. And so I just kind of missed those types of things, but definitely understood where they was going with that. So I just want to let you know I do understand, but I just I still prefer the other way. Brilla, what you got?
I definitely agree with you. I said the fight should have been longer. Like you said, it just jumps around 11. I want to see, like, it seemed like after the fight they didn't even have that many bruises and stuff. I wanted to see like you watch a Rocky type movie. I wanted to see Michael B. Jordan, lumped up at least. You know what I'm saying? A bit for a war. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the realistic
that
part.
Boy went to the podium looking clean.
Yeah.
My man Dame was clean too. I mean, nobody was cut, nothing.
Right. I got you. I want to shout out the super chat. That girl, thank you so much. Mwah. Hey Nita and panel, I can't wait to see this movie. Oh, you watch it, even though I don't mind spoilers either. So I know some people don't mind it. Maybe you were just coming to support. Just wanted to say thank you. Jonathan May just looked outstanding. Girl, it was this part. Like, I don't want to objectify men, baby, but I'm telling you, it was this sequence in the training montage when he had them ropes and he was getting up on. Whew, okay.
This is Nita's channel, so you go ahead and do that.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Damn, he's the GOAT.
He looked amazing.
He looked amazing on
the one fight for the championship. That's I'm like,
so thank you, girl. Yes, look, LOL, you still here? All right, you may want to cut out. I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning when you want to cut out on when I get to a certain person. I will let you know when that time comes, but it's a little later on. He did the ropes in one take.
Oh, listen, he was in jail for a long time. He said, I ain't stopped training. I still got it. You know what I'm saying? So
how long was he locked up?
Like 20 years? 18 years.
James iPhone.
Alexa, stop.
No, right.
18
years, y'all. Yes. Girl. Ooh, yes, they was, Jack.
We should have had some tune-up fights or something, man.
I know.
Before they just threw it. Like, come on.
I was going to ask y'all what y'all thought about that because
This is a montage of him knocking
because
people out.
Duke, yeah, because Duke was like, no, this guy has a chip on his shoulder. We don't think he should get a fight. We shouldn't deal with him. You don't owe him nothing. Do you think that Donnie made the right decision to give him a fight, to let him train at the gym and all that? Do you guys agree with Adonis's decision to give him a shot?
I think his guilt, you know, pushed him to that point of him running away and everything. Yeah, we spoiling it, y'all. I think he was right. I think he was trying to do the right thing. Overall, it was the wrong decision because we find out that he was being set up. But yeah, there you go. Spoiler one. That's right. Put it up there because we going in. But I don't think it was a good decision on Donnie's part.
I thought it was the right decision. I thought it was only right given their history, their background. Like it all kicked off because of him. Like all of that. There were so many different factors, and I'm not pointing the finger solely at Donnie, and I'm not pointing the finger solely at him, but I feel like at the least he could have gave him that opportunity. And it started out just as a spar. Now, are you talking about the actual talking him into taking the fight? Now, I don't know about that one. You know, maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say that might have been a stretch, but you know, just to get him in there to spar, because him and Duke was just talking about sparring. But then once he set up, when he became the villain, and it was, you almost missed it. Kevin missed it. When the dude attacked Victor,
Chavez?
Victor's son, Drago's son, Victor, and crushed his hand. That was a whole setup from the person who he was.
Yeah, it was.
With.
Yeah.
And my son missed it. And that's another gripe, is that I felt like they moved too fast. They glossed over a whole lot where, you know, they didn't do no hand holding. They didn't do a lot of things to like kind of set you up to know what was going on. Like he had all these people around him, like where these people come from. He had this big luxurious townhouse, condo, hotel. He had girls, and like, it was like they cut like a big, huge chunk out of the movie.
I think that was intentional, Nita. I think it was intentional, so you can go back and watch it again. Yeah, and you can have this conversation. So I think it was intentional.
But I've watched it 3 times and I still have the same conclusion.
Okay.
But I think what happened is that after he took the dude's title, you know, he got the money and the fame, and then you get what else? The hanger-ons, the
exactly.
You know, and that's what that was.
Yeah, I get that, but yeah, I don't know. But that dude that was in jail with him, like they kept on showing his face on the thing. That's the only reason why I recognized it. And then I was just like, oh, that's the same dude. But Kevin, he had totally missed it. But of course, Kevin is 13 years old. Did anybody miss that? And then they have to see it later on or figure it out after a while.
I saw it off top.
Yep, off top. Yep. And then when we saw the picture, because I said there was a reason I'm trying not to give too many spoilers, but you know, when she had the letters, when he said you didn't get the letters, I was like, there's a reason. There's a reason why he didn't get those letters.
Yeah.
Either Donnie was lying or they were deliberately kept from him.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Okay. Hey, Amy.
What's up, A Boogie?
I know you saw it. I should have called you. You could come on here, but I didn't want to have like a.
She getting ready to go to Bali. Yeah, I'm telling her business.
Right. I know she getting
her birthday coming up. Happy 40th.
Right. Absolutely. Happy early birthday. Okay, y'all. So I want to talk about Adonis. Did y'all like him? Did you like his portrayal in this? I felt like he was very reserved and he's very opposite of his father. If you remember, Apollo Creed and how
Mhm.
Mhm.
not flamboyant, maybe that's the wrong word, but how outlandish he was.
Outspoken. Yeah, he was outspoken.
Yes, and he's very grounded. If you notice in every Creed movie, you know how most winners they want to go party it up and live it up, and he's like with his girl, he's knocked out on the couch. He's very understated. Even when he came in the house, like he had his little. I guess all athletes may have that little shrine to themselves because of the accolades that they've gotten, but just the little things of him having see-through floors and stuff like that. I thought that was very understated. I felt like he's very opposite of his father. Did y'all get that from him?
I
As
can
far as
see where
I'm
you can
sorry.
draw that connection. But you got to remember, in a fight game, it draws, a special type of person, and you also got to understand, boxing is like that mono a mono kind of sport where it draws people with great ego, and sometimes having those wins, I can never explain to you how it feels to have a room with thousands of people screaming your name, and you're on the pedestal in the spotlight, and it's almost like a drug, and that's why you see a lot of fighters, they have a hard time, letting go of the sport. And their time has come, and you see a lot of that play out in Rocky, where you see fighters suffer because of that. So in a lot of ways, it's a lot of truth buried in there. If you really look at it, again, this is one of those perspective movies. It depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. So I could identify with some of it. Competing against former Olympians, and also winning, like going out to the nationals and going out to the regionals, locals, and you get this this kick that is very addictive, and you try to repeat it, but sometimes it's hard to stop. And I thought they did a good job showing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to speak to that, Tiff?
I do, because I think part of the reason he's the way he is because he also grew up in group homes before he went to live with the mom, Mama Creed. He was in group homes and stuff, and he had to fight, and he was in trouble and stuff. If you remember the original Creed, his background, he was fighting all the time. And remember, like in this scene, in this,
his daughter had the same.
Well, see, I'm going to say episode 3. The wife Bianca had to basically implore him to like open up and tell him what was wrong and stuff. So I think that being reserved and keeping things in and stuff, that's who he is, and his release is the boxing.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice that Amara, when she did the whole like the girl tore shit up, and she, the same thing that the teacher said, that she's an exceptional child, but she likes to fight. In the very first Creed, when he was in the group home, when Felicia Rashad, Mama Creed went, he said he's a good kid. He just likes to fight. And it was like a full circle moment. There was so many different full circle moments. If y'all go back and watch them, you would definitely be pleased with how they kind of tie all of the, the pieces together. Even him being in a group home and having this relationship with Damian that we never knew about until, till the third movie. So I just love that there was still some groundness, and they still pulled from the original story, and it felt real. Like it felt real, although it felt like a movie. If that makes sense. All right. So next, how did you like the backstory, young Adonis and young Dame? I thought they was cool. I thought they were cool. I thought they were good actors. I enjoyed the backstory. Did they think it was slow? Did they think that it wasn't needed? What do you think? Anybody, any thoughts?
I liked it. I definitely liked it. Made me kind of look at Adonis a little different because I mean, what is he about 14 right here or something?
Yeah, it looked like about that.
Exact age, but yeah, it's like okay, I get your mom wasn't giving you the letters or whatever, but if you was really locked in with this dude like that, and you know what happened, I know when I was 14, like you're not gonna try to find this dude, you're not gonna like do no research and try to get in touch with this dude, you're just gonna forget about him. That was kind of weird to me.
Right.
Like, even if my mama not giving me letters, you old enough to make something happen on your own. Like if that's your brother for real like that, you got love for somebody, I'm not gonna let him rot for all that time. Plus, when I'm partially responsible for what, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, I'm like, what's up with that Adonis? That's why I want to get knocked out.
It was good. I thought it showed he was scared. I mean, he was scared. He was a kid. That's not forgetting 14. You know, I think we sometimes look at it through the lens of us being an adult, and some of those emotions get in there. But you look at the fact that that's probably the first time he ever. You saw his reaction when he saw the gun. It's like it was his first time seeing a gun, and it's like he was simultaneously discovering things about his quote unquote brother that he never knew before. He's like, I didn't know he was that heavy in the street or that he was that violent. And I think some of it was just a shock he froze. And
I did the first 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you didn't know what was going on. But the last 15?
Well, yeah, you gotta also remember what he said. Growing up in the system, and then Mama Creed coming to get him. Dude has been burying his pain and his fears for years. So when he buried the fact that his boy went away, he didn't want to deal with it. And that's why he didn't want to talk about it, with his wife. I think a lot of us as men, black men especially, we go through a lot, we bury a lot. So I connected with that when she was trying to get it out of him. And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. I just want to do boxing. I just want to, get this out, get my frustration out this way. Because I think all of us as black men, we find that vice of how we put out our emotions, right? Whether it be arts, whether it be music, whether it be boxing, whatever it is, karate, whatever it is. So he buried everything. And I feel you, bro. He should have. He should have come to that realization. We all would want him to be like, yo, I need to go check on my boy and see what's going on. I'm an adult now. I'm responsible now. Yeah. But going with what Ray is saying, dude is young. He's scared. He don't really know how to deal with his emotions at that age. And that carried into his adulthood.
Yeah. Like,
well, for me, I want to push back on that just a little bit because I can understand. I can understand you saying that because I love at the end of it how they said they acknowledged that they were kids then, and then, but you're not a kid now. So the only thing about that is like when he had that particular conversation with his mom, I don't know if he kind of went back and then the inner child was speaking, but him taking that out and putting that blame on her was like one of those things like, oh, it's always the mother fault. It's always like you can't take accountability for what you want to do. And I love that they actually showed him progressing through his emotions, understanding that he was trying to protect himself. It felt like a relief at a certain time. He worked through it and he understood it.
And I can understand why she kept the letters. She was trying to protect them. I get that. And she did a great job at doing what she could, but now it's kind of backfiring. You know what I'm saying? Like if I would have known about this before, maybe I would have visited him. Maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he wouldn't be as mad because he's mad. He came back mad, yo. He came back like, yo, I'm coming for the title. You know what I'm saying?
But she said, if I had given you those letters, you wouldn't have all this either. Right. Because apparently mom saw what type of dude he was too. Yeah. A lot of times, we the moms, looking from the outside, we see things that the kids don't see, you know, and she probably sensed because she showed them the pictures. You're like, no, you know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question though. So what if he did, and again, I'm just throwing a scenario out there. What if she did give him the letters, right? Do you think, okay, he wouldn't be who he is today. He wouldn't be Adonis, you know, the champion, everything else like that. Do you think he would have then latched on to Dame and
It's
then
possible.
got involved in something crazy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think one of the things, and I just want to backpedal just one small part. He took accountability in the end because he never told Dame that my mama did this. He took that. And I think sometimes when we juggle these masculine and feminine energies, you got to put them in the right perspective. As a man, he took ownership of it.
He did.
He went back, though, that inner child in him had the conversation with his mother, like, yo, I'm mad at you. Why'd you do that? But I think those were words of wisdom, even coming from the mother, saying, hey, look, if I had done what you wanted me to do, you wouldn't be who you are.
Right.
And to show that everything that you may think in that moment or made against you all goes to the good. You know what I'm saying? You may have thought it was bad in that moment, but look at her mom's magic. A mother's love and her vision goes far. And sometimes you don't see them until you get older. So I think they played that out well in that moment. But I digress.
All right. Brillo, you good?
Thank you.
I started it up. I was critical of Donnie, 14-year-old Donnie. I'm not giving him no pass, man. I was 14. I wouldn't have did it. Nah.
Was that a simp move, Brillo? That was a simp move?
Nah, it was more of a sucker move. Even if I wouldn't have did it when I was 14, everybody go through stuff and have. I know I personally, there's no way I would have left my brother in there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Never thought about this dude. Like, I can see you initially being scared, 14. You don't know what's going on, but by the time you start, you know what I'm saying, getting up in age, that was just one thing I had for Donnie. I didn't think Dame was wrong for the way he approached it. I mean, if he would have did that, he never would have been champion.
True.
He would have did what he did, the grimy backdoor move that he pulled. He wouldn't have been what I would call the greatest record of all time, 1-0 heavyweight champion of the world. It will never be done again. Dame, Diamond Dame. It will never be repeated. 1-0 heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
It was wrong for him to do that, but it never would have happened for him if he hadn't did it.
Yeah.
And we saw how he was looking at the won the championship. We saw the loft.
Yeah.
So
I really like their like for me, the backstory, it made me more sympathetic to Dame. I didn't think I didn't think he was a bad guy until we figured out he sabotaged the fight to bring his, you know, that was the inciting moment that, oh, okay, now we know for sure he's the bad guy. Like, I was on his side the whole time.
Listen, I feel you. I felt for him because he had a reason to be upset. It was the way he went about it, though, like using dude to hurtful. He was also cheating a little bit, you know, like low blows. He was purposely punching elbows, punching dudes in the arms. And I know, you know, Ray is the boxing expert, but that's one thing that my dad used to tell me about boxing, about like when you punch people in the arms and stuff, it makes it even harder for them to lift their guards and stuff. It's tired.
Yeah,
that's illegal, the punches in the arms.
So he was cheating. He was cheating too. And that's what I didn't like.
In boxing, the referee identifies with the legal places you can hit. You can't hit below the belt. You can't hit behind the head. But everything else is fair game. If you notice, Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest fighters in boxing, he uses his shoulder to block punches. You can punch a shoulder. You can punch your elbow. Well, that's all.
He can't because I was like, he doing
elbows to wing punches off. They use forearms to control fight. I mean, if you use it excessively, like a forearm to maneuver a person, they may say, "Hey, you can't do that." But that's all fair game in the sport. But the major fouls are just the behind the back punches and behind the head and below the waist. I thought Dame, he threw some borderline fouls, but it wasn't too bad considering he came from jail. I thought he was going to be doing some serious fouling, but
Ray, he ain't bite no ears off, right? He ain't bite no ears off. But let me ask you, Ray. Let me ask you real quick. Is this like a regular move? Is this a real move? Like he was doing this? Like
that's a block. That's that block.
That's a good block move. I used to see cats like this.
Yeah, this is a defense style. It's
okay.
Trust me, you don't want to do that if you're a lightweight or something like that. The heavyweights, they can take more punishment to the body, but nobody will give up their body like that if you're in a lightweight. You get hit with a
like his whole bottom was open.
Yeah. That's
I was like, bro.
I saw this. So Dame did a 20-piece for just pulling the gun out. Did he squeeze him?
He said he had priors.
He had other
priors.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I must have missed that. I'm like, jeez.
3 strike, right? Maybe. I don't know.
He said 2 other priors.
Okay. Right.
I was
There
like,
goes 3 strike.
the gun?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
I like the backstory. Mm-hmm.
Next up is Bianca.
I love her.
go.
I love her too.
Right.
She's a good partner.
Yeah.
Partner.
She is.
And I love the fact that in this particular franchise, Creed, that they gave her more to do. We had her story on display. We had the family story on display. It's very easy to push them in the back being supporting characters. Adrian, you know, it could have been just
Do that again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. I want to hear that. Adrian. I love him. I'm silly. I'm sorry.
Like, yeah, no, just to get that whole that kiss at the end of the ring or whatever. But I felt like they did give her a lot of story, and I appreciate it because she ate it up. She did what she needed to do. She was an excellent partner, and I loved everything about her. Who wants to start on Bianca?
Yeah, I ditto everything you said. She was super solid, super supportive. She pushed all the right buttons to get them to talk. She wasn't in your face, you know what I mean? In your ear, you know. She wasn't too aggressive. I think she had a good balance. She definitely told him what he needed to hear. Oh, you don't want to talk right now, but I've been trying to talk to you. You know, she didn't really, like you said, super solid. Plus, it was cool to see her, successful with her music and stuff, and not just like a background character. She like a legendary artist. I did like how Dan was having the conversations with her, like, yeah, he could see through her, like, you missing the music, just like I'm missing the boxing. You know what I mean? I know it killed you to see her sing your song, didn't it?
Right.
Man was just keeping it too real with her.
Speaking of which, did y'all get some flirty, some chemistry, not as far as her, but I felt like he was going to make some type of play or something. The way he kept looking,
he was locked up for 20 years. Of course, he was looking, but
right.
I don't think he would have shot his shot.
It was just the looks, like ever so suddenly, I would just catch the glances, and I was just like,
the energy was definitely there. I felt the energy too, like,
Man, no, he was finessing everybody, man. Yeah,
right.
He was finessing his girl, the baby girl. I mean, he was trying to find an angle. I saw it as him just trying to probe and look at who his were.
Okay, got it.
Right, getting that data. Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else feel like when they brought baby girl to the fight, I was like, I don't know if I would have had my baby girl at the fight, because it can get so brutal, and seeing your dad getting punished like that, and stuff too. Because at one point her face was like, so I don't know.
I saw Bianca whenever it got to that point, she would take the
She
baby
did
away.
turn her. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, she would
But
take her away.
she also been watching the fight since
Yeah,
she
she
was
was-
born.
Yeah,
Like
she
she's been
was
watching his fights on
watching
the
them.
low. You know, on the iPad. Remember she was on the iPad when they was cleaning up the gym. She's been watching his fights. So
Like I watched all your fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
all-
did. Yeah, I saw that. But I mean, in person, like in person,
Yeah, in
you
person.
see somebody, you know, and she's a little girl. I was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
that's true. That's true. I just feel like him graduating, him retiring from the boxing industry on top, being the heavyweight, like I don't think he would ever plan to get in the ring and think that he was going to get demolished or something like that. Like I felt like that there was. I mean, look, they thought that was the same. That was going to be the same thing with Chavez, and Lord have mercy,
Chavez
Dame took him down like it wasn't nobody's business. That was brutal. So, yeah. So, anybody else? I'm sorry. Somebody else want to answer the question?
What was the question?
Yeah.
About the little girl being at the fight.
They did answer.
We answered, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had my little girl in the fight. But she liked boxing, but
she likes
I don't have daughters though, so I don't know.
The boys.
Right.
The boys would have been there.
The fight would have definitely been there.
Huh?
Your daughters come to the fights?
Oh yeah, my daughters love it. They love the
I'm about to say his daughters actually box. Well, they
listen. I like boxing too. I'm just thinking. I was thinking because she looked horrified at one point. You know, when she saw, and I was just like, "Ooh, she might be too young."
Yeah, that Chavez was brutal. So yeah.
That she did. Her face was like, yeah.
They made Chavez look weak though. That was like a damn highlight reel.
But you know, they were saying nope. Everybody was scared to spar with him and stuff. And then when he got in the actual fight, he got destroyed.
I mean, could I say that it was kind of well deserved? Because I mean, my man was super ego tripping. Like, you know, I'm gonna beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like he was super on a high. Yeah,
his mom got him like that too. She was
He was the ultimate warrior. You know what I'm saying? So when Dame came and did his thing, I was like,
what?
Gotta get it.
Right.
1-0 champion. You should have retired
1-0 champion
as a champ.
Yeah, I thought
we wouldn't even gave Donnie a fight.
Bro, I think he's more than 1-0, bro. Like if we talking official, but as far as jailhouse rocking, I think he knocked out a whole bunch of cats before he got out.
Right.
Yeah. I think so too.
My whole thing about that is that I felt like everything was like super fast paced. Like
that's why I said we needed a montage of Dame knocking some contenders out, kind of building his way up to the top.
Yeah, the pacing was definitely off for me. So
I think that IMAX film is kind of expensive, so you know they had to do it. They had to do it. Let's go. This is expensive film.
Like, you know, Rocky getting his shot, but Rocky was a boxer. Like he had a record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't just coming straight out of the meat shop. You know what I'm saying? Going for his first fight against Apollo, like
right.
Man, I love Rocky, man.
Yeah, I heard on the red carpet he said something about the Creed 4. And I call it a trilogy now because we have 3. But if he's following this in the same lines of Rocky, then I definitely see it going. And we'll talk about it because I do have a segment, the future of the Creed franchise. So we'll get there, Khadijah. I think we already spoke on their relationship. I loved it. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, she's the Rock. Like she was definitely a Rock in this, and I like how she acknowledged, you know, Mama Creed. You know, when she was going through what she was going through, when she was having ear problems and everything else like that, she couldn't perform any wars. She went to Mama Creed, and Mama Creed was kind of there for her. Right. And it also lets us know that she didn't really feel like she can go to him because, again, he's doing what he's doing, and he's suppressing his feelings as well. But he's boxing and doing what it is. So I think their relationship has developed to this point. And I gotta say that it took Mama Creed passing for him to really open up and to get closer to her, you know. Spoiler warning.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan acting like Ghost from Power.
Okay, yeah, I think we spoke to their family dynamic. I thought the little girl was so adorable. She is definitely hearing impaired. So it's not somebody acting like they were hearing impaired. All of them had to learn it. It was very important, and they did take up a lot of space in the movie where they didn't push it to the back burner. More like what I was saying about Bianca. I thought we was gonna see her doing a little bit more. Now we saw that she was liking, she was into the boxing and stuff like that, but I thought I was gonna see a little bit more power behind her. We're gonna get there because I that's where I'm going with the future of the franchise. I'm seeing little Amara.
Look, it might be her in the ring. He might be training her, a girl dad, like Kobe was with his daughter.
Yeah,
right.
You know, I appreciated seeing that side of him with her.
Yes,
because you know, remember in Creed 2, you can tell he was disappointed that she was going to be deaf, and that was breaking Bianca's heart. Yeah. That he was, you know, remember he was having a hard time connecting with the baby and stuff because you know he was you know, she was deaf and everything, and now you can see he's totally locked in that he's a, you know, she's a daddy's girl and stuff, and it was beautiful to see. So it did give him another you know, an element of his personality that was cool.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tiffany, especially in the beginning when they was doing the whole tea time and he put on the frog outfit and the whole nine. Like that just reminded me of me and my niece, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, being a girl dad, definitely that hits.
Yeah, my dad was like that too. It was Wonder Woman for me. Yeah, dad had tea and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I appreciated seeing that, and I love seeing the fathers being portrayed, especially Black fathers being portrayed on screen.
Yeah, like kind of made me want a daughter for like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Bro,
I'm just not going back to the diapers, bro.
A lot of work, buddy.
We already had that conversation. But yeah, it was definitely dope to see the relationship. Like you said, it was, you know what I'm saying, a good thing that I think that they actually had to learn, you know, sign language and things like that. And I think she did a great job. You know, I like the scene where that girl, that bully, gonna come rip her drawing up for no reason. Just rip her junk up in slow motion, like it's like something sweet. You know who my daddy is?
Right.
That's when I would have told my daughter off in school in front of the principal, and then we would have went and got some ice cream.
Right.
What would you have done, Ray? Because Ray, you got daughters, man. What's your take on that, bro?
I was trying to find a video, if he would let me show it, of his daughter's
my daughter is nice.
Yeah, she is.
But I would say I would hate to. My daughter loves to show off for cameras, and them jokers in this day and age where they pull that phone out and be like,
"Ooh, right."
I'm afraid my daughter might do.
Well, you know the camera coming out, Ray.
But as a father, we always had that concern, and we want to make sure we equip our daughters to protect themselves. I don't think any man would want to have his daughter out to fend for herself out in this world, because people can be cruel. I'm definitely looking forward to if this series turns in the direction of female boxing, which is highly underrated. I already see an actor who could play his daughter, as a young lady by the name of Alicia Baumgartner. She can. They actually look like she could be her older sister. So who knows?
I gotta put Shields in her as the villain.
Okay, we gotta
right here. Yeah.
She is the truth, bro. Yeah. She is the truth.
We got a question for you, Ray. Do you see any heavyweights in the line and excitement of Mike Tyson on the horizon?
It's
That's
one
what we all can dream of.
I forgot this guy's name. I feel bad, man, but he dressed up like a pimp, and I can't. I get his name, but yeah, we do have a young American heavyweight coming up. He is in the rankings right now. I don't think I love Deontay Wilder, but he doesn't really embody, like, to me, what I like to see in the boxer. Boxers have many styles, but I just not with the wild punching. Ironically, he did send me a response to one of my comments on ESPN Twitter or whatever. He told me, "You don't know nothing about boxing."
Sorry.
Yeah, just because.
Yeah,
people do that.
Yeah. So
thank you so much, that girl, for the super chat. And I can't find y'all do a lot of sparring in the summertime, because I'm looking through your profile. I can't find a video of you and her, but she be giving him that work, so it's good. She's
Okay.
nice. She got the hands.
I do train kids from time to time.
Yes, I want to sign Kevin up. I'm definitely supposed to be talking last year, so we're gonna move forward with that. Yes, y'all. So okay, so anybody else? We're gonna move into Mr. Jonathan Majors. Okay. Talk about him a little bit. I told you that I did not think he was the villain until like almost the end of the movie, like midway to the end. Like
he still wasn't the villain.
He wasn't the villain in the end.
Right, he still wasn't the villain.
No. He just did what he had to do to get into the ring. That's it. You know what I'm saying? To get what he felt that he was due, being that he was locked up, and he did come. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. He did come to Adonis' rescue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He did.
So yeah, I mean, is he the hero? Is he the antagonist?
That's why I said I thought he owed him, because I felt like he did. Like at the very least, he can get in there and spar with him. Like maybe he can't predict the future. He didn't know how it was going to play out, but at the very least, he could have did that. So I felt like he owed him that.
I did too. I feel like in life, you have certain people in your life for a season, and they're not meant to be attached to you through your entire journey, because people make decisions, and they make considerations on whether or not they're going to jail. That don't mean you want to go to jail, and so when they make those decisions and they have harsh consequences, I think it kind of plays in line with reality. I mean, I have a lot of friends, some I'm still friends with, but I just couldn't take that journey with them. They wanted to go a little deeper in the rabbit hole than I cared to go. They're still my friends, but you have to be smart and look at your future as an individual. And I think Jonathan Majors, I think his story, he was meant to experience what he experienced. And I think he came out on the other side a different person. I thought at the end they showed closure between the two in their relationship, but they were able to make amends. I still didn't see him as a bad guy. I didn't see him do anything outlandish, but other than flame that fire of guilt that Adonis had of not doing something as a child. I mean, that's like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diamond should have skirted off on Donnie when they was beating the brakes off of him. That's essentially what he did to him. That's what Adonis did to him. I don't care nothing about his age. Diamond should have skirted out on him, drove home, and then he probably was gonna be in Adonis' spot because he was a hell of a boxer. He was already going above. So, but I definitely like the character. Like I said, I didn't see him as a villain. He was grimy as ever. That whole backdoor play was definitely grimy, but he got out of jail and he said he had something left in the tank, and he definitely won line.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he was my favorite part of the movie. I'll say that.
Absolutely.
I thought Adonis owed him for sure. And I guess he had to do what he had to do, but I don't like that he used dude to crush his hand and everything to get his shot. But he did say that, he pretty much was on borrowed time. Like, my time is now, I don't have time to wait. So I guess he had to do what he had to do. That's the only thing. That's the only part that I think made him a villain. The fact that he did that. But I do think that Donnie owed him.
Right. Jay, how you feeling?
He ain't owe him nothing.
That's why I say he should have started out on.
I'm gonna say this. Donnie ain't owe him nothing. Donnie ain't tell him to pull out that gun.
That's
Donnie
true.
ain't tell him to even have a gun.
That's true.
If he know he got prize, he shouldn't have had the gun. He should have just came, you know what I'm saying, and just to help out. He ain't have to pull out the strap. You know what I'm saying? So Donnie don't owe him a damn thing. Yeah, he probably mad at Donnie. He mad at Donnie because Donnie ain't come see him. Yo, you supposed to be my brother. Bro, you pull out the strap, you got prize. We both in juvie. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't owe him nothing.
He could have stayed in touch, though. He could have stayed in touch.
He could have, but he's 14 years old. He ain't thinking about that. You know what he doing? He 14 years old going through puberty, right? He thinking about girls. He thinking about going to school. He thinking about, you know what I'm saying? He think about the regular stuff that teenagers think about. Wow, my boy, okay, that was my boy. He looked out for me. Again, I'm being like the devil's advocate.
I'm like,
that's my boy. He went to jail. I appreciate you, but I gotta live my life.
Out here, Nita. When I was 14, I don't know. I get what you're saying, VKJ. Nobody did tell him to get the strap. Probably should have went out there. I mean, you need the gun.
Wasn't Donnie beating Leon down? It was Leon, right?
Yeah,
beating him down?
He was.
So did he really need help?
No, the boys.
The other cats came.
Yeah, they
came and try to rescue Leon. That's right. Yeah. So he pulled out the strap. He didn't have to pull out the strap. They could have shot a fit. He just shot.
They could have, right? They could have. Because he was the Golden Glove winner at the time.
Right.
So they
beat somebody down and won. Why you pulling out the strap?
He did run to that strap. That's a sucker move, getting the strap.
You know what I'm saying? So nobody told him to do that. So that's why I feel like Donnie don't owe him a damn thing.
You're right about that. You
can't put yourself in a situation and then get mad because don't nobody want to go deeper to get you out. I mean, come on. That's like saying we caught, man. We not caught. No, you caught.
Right, you caught.
I give you that. You shouldn't have pulled the strap.
You my boy and all, and I appreciate you pulling out the strap, coming to my rescue. You ain't had to pull out the strap, knowing you got prize. You ain't know the cops was coming, but still, we could have shot a fair one with these cats.
And you can strap. It's only two of them dudes. They didn't have weapons. He should have just went out there.
My man, you a champion. You could beat anybody down. Leon, all these other cats. You could have beat them all down.
Big. So he could have taken a couple of them dudes.
Right,
he was older.
In worst case scenario, they beat up. You know what I'm saying? They lumped up. They get back in the car, and then you do your one.
The only reason why, not to interrupt you, bro. The only reason why Donnie felt guilty is because he ran. That's why he felt guilty.
Yeah.
Not that he got locked up.
He
ran when he should have stayed with his boy.
Right.
He should have stayed with him.
I think he felt guilty because he was staying in touch too. He let years go by. He was down for 18.
Remember, he didn't let the years go by. His mother ensured.
Well, she did. Yeah, but did he check to see what happened to him? Even if he didn't know, did he say what happened? What happened to my boy? Like you saw him get locked up. Did you?
We're assuming we're assuming that he didn't go looking, but the movie didn't really cover it.
Right.
I think in fairness, he could have very well been looking for, Damian just couldn't find him. I thought the guilt was enough. What they was trying to get across that he was just guilty. How it went down, and he wished he had played it differently. But we all go through life and have regrets of things we've done in the past. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't think we always Superman in every occasion. I like to say 9 out of 10. Sometimes I wish I would have, done something stupid than a run. But sometimes the smartest thing is to run and regroup.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry, Nita. I just want to ask one question. Let's go back to Creed 1. When Mama Creed came to get him, where was Adonis?
Yeah, he was in the group home. You're right. I mean, he got locked up. Yeah, got locked
So
up.
he was already.
Or
So even if he asked around, like, is he really gonna get information? Is where his boy's at? Come on, he's
Yeah.
still in it. He's still in the juvie.
No, I'm talking
He
about
can
as
ask,
he,
he can
look,
find
as
out, but
he
what can he
aged, like
really
as
do?
he went to
Yeah,
Philly,
the
when he was
movie
with
Doesn't have the
Zen, as he
resources to
felt
really
himself
get his boy
champion.
out.
No,
They
he
wasn't-
was
they
with his
wasn't
mom
cool.
by that time.
They shouldn't have made it like they was real brothers like that. Then it just was
Yeah.
a dude who I
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah, because
That's a
it's
good
like
point.
you ascended. You ascended, you know, you took on, because remember, he wasn't even using the Creed name in the first one. He
Right.
eventually took on the name, and then he became Adonis Creed, and you know, and now his whole life has changed. But again, that was his brother.
Yeah.
So-called
That's
brother.
why I thought that very last scene of them in the locker room was so important.
It was.
They was able to say, you were a kid and you were a kid too. And it's not on either one of us how that played out.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad that they actually had that line of dialogue where they both could make peace with it after they fought it out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean.
And then he told him that if you need me, I'm around. So he still left the door open for him to, like, you know, this ain't goodbye. You can still, we can still get up with each other.
Jay looked like he got some smoke.
I just got a question. I'm sorry. You know, I get excited about this stuff, right? We're having a great conversation. Appreciate you guys. What do you think the reaction would have been if Dame actually won the fight?
That's
do
what
you
I
think
want.
that closure would have happened like that?
It could have still happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
That should have been the way it ended. I swear. I don't know why.
I think it would happen. You know, some of the most, if you ever in real life in boxing, you see some of the most hated like enemies. At the end of the fight, it's nothing else left. And that sportsmanship comes across. I mean, these guys you see that just hate each other, and then they end up embracing each other. I love you, and that's it. That's the sport. The sport is a noble sport.
Well, that could have been a nice little touch.
We could have hugged it out in the ring. Got the Dame, got his championship.
Yeah.
Since it was so personal to them, and it wasn't just like they were opponents and trying to get the title.
That's my point. That's what I'm getting at, because this was deeper than just a boxing fight and sportsmanship. This was like way back, buried feelings and animosity, you know what I'm saying, towards Donnie and the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was asking the question. Do you think this would have played out the same way if Dame would have won?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It could have. Yeah, I think it could have. I definitely think.
I prefer it that way, actually. Because like I think that's why I like Creed 2 so much, is because Donnie got his whooped. Like, I mean, like, I don't always want to see the person always winning. Like, you know, that feels so cliche to me. So that's why I really
didn't Rocky lose in the first Rocky?
Yeah, he did. He did lose. And
that's why it's always gonna be one of the top ones.
That's the best one.
Well, and to be fair, Donnie lost too because he also ain't listening to nobody. In Creed 2. Remember, like, because Rocky was telling him, don't take that fight. You know, Bianca was telling him, like, his whole corner was telling him, don't take the fight. And he went in there wrong. And it wasn't until he started listening to his people, his corner and everything, that he finally won. He had his team behind him. When he tried to be one man, that's when he lost.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer. We're towards the end. There is this one. I think we already talked about Chavez and Dame, him getting the belt. Like I said, I felt like it was rushed. Felt like we needed a little bit more with that. So I think we all agreed on that. The final
Chavez was dead at first.
Me too. I thought it was going to be another Apollo Creed.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, it didn't look good at all. It didn't look.
He beat the brakes off of him. For real.
Yeah, he did.
Then they made it like Dame did something so wrong. He just like
it was the elbow.
I think it was just the elbow. It was the elbow, but take a point off. The ref took 2 points off. What's fair?
That's too right.
He was going on him. He he was trying to take his head off. He really was.
He was not playing with that boy. This was his only shot.
Yeah, he had something to prove.
Look at him right there. That shot right there.
Mm-hmm.
He trying to kill that boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final fight, y'all. I think we talked about it. That was like one of my gripes, but we were all split on that. So, like I said, I understood it, but
this is supposed to be epic, not one round.
Yeah, I wanted more. I just really wanted a little bit more.
I was happy to see they had the real ref too.
Should have looked like Martin.
Oh yeah,
one episode.
And even the corner man, I recognize the corner, the Spanish guy, the corner man.
Yeah, I was like,
yo,
they got the real folks there.
Yeah, they did.
Referee, everybody was real. It was dope.
Okay,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I saw somewhere they said, "Hey man, Damian may be a Kang variant. I don't know."
oh yeah, definitely. We gonna talk about Marvel. You see, we ain't playing over here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about Marvel.
Yes, Khadija, she know her stuff, right? She's in here talking about.
There you go, Tony Weeks. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Tony Weeks.
Salute.
Okay, so I don't watch anime, but I heard that Michael B. Jordan did take some. Does anybody watch anime? Did anybody recognize any? All I knew was the crossover with them hitting each other at the same time. That was the only thing that I recognized from anime. Don't really watch it. Anything else stood out to y'all about the anime influences?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. That's the only thing I recognize. They both shitting each other at the same time, and I don't know, maybe that punch to the body in slow motion coming out with his eyes about to pop out his head. I love that part.
Yeah, that could have been that too.
Yeah,
definitely. Ray, you watch anime? You into it? Anything?
No, my daughter does. I can't stand it.
I just can't get into it. I can't get into it either.
We watched real. I was young.
I was gonna say, Ray said she'll run the area. You know, Gary and them, the fighters from the area. You know them too. The Russells, you know them.
I remember when they was walking under the Gary Russell, when he was walking under the punching bag. That's how small he was. They were little kids in the gym. I remember all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I know them too, and their mom and dad.
Yeah, good people. I know his father. I seen his father at the fights. He was there a lot of our fights. Good people. Good people.
Good people. Yeah, he just passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're almost at the end. I'm going to talk briefly about Felicia Rashad as Ma or Marianne, however you want to know her to be. I thought she was a very sweet and endearing part of this movie. She had a very big part, actually. I felt like, let me put the spoiler alert. Mo, who else said that they didn't see it? Mo, everybody, y'all, this is the spoiler.
You take care.
Spoiler filled.
This is spoiler filled, and we're about to get into it. Now we see Mary Ann, his mom, dies from a stroke that injured her internal organs, and she went down rather quickly to me. That was another rush thing for me. I understand that they said that she had a stroke previously and they were worried about her health. I get all that, but I still felt like it was kind of rushed in how it happened. But it was a very impactful scene. Her speaking and seeing his father with him. That dialogue that she had with him was quite chilling. I was like, ooh. So it really got me in the feels. So yeah, I thought the part was really impactful. It just happened too fast. Even him dealing with it, like the bed scene, the actual death scene was longer, not as long as I wanted it, but just him, the funeral, the grieving process, it didn't feel like he had any time. We didn't have any time to breathe with that or whatever. Him having any kind of turmoil about, whatever. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But I mean, maybe we just didn't want to do all that. What y'all say? IMAX is expensive. They could have did that in digital though. But I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's expensive film, man. I'm telling you, they're like, listen, we got to go through this. We
They
got to go.
got it, vacation.
Hopefully, the IMAX was only for the fight scenes only. That would be the smart thing. Economic.
That would have been a good time to have Rocky come back for the funeral.
Exactly.
You know, because of the previous relationship with Apollo was his best friend. Exactly. And so he had a relationship with the wife too.
A phone call, some flowers, some kind of acknowledgement, something. Even if he wasn't there, something.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone ain't messing with it. That's a whole different
he's still a producer on the film. When I watched the credits, Sylvester Stallone's name was in the credits.
They had to for contractual purposes.
He created the character.
Mm-hmm.
He
for contractual purposes.
Like how we always see Courtney Kemp in the Power universe.
Right. But going back to the mama, I thought it was a very touching moment. You know what I'm saying? Again, for anybody who has lost anybody, for her to go into talking to Apollo and Adonis is right there, and he's like, she's telling him like his name is Adonis. Like she was just going back in her mind, and then she said his name Adonis, and he thought he was talking to her. So like that whole it was very touching to me. Just for me, it just touched me in a different place. You know what I'm saying? Because I lost my dad 10 years ago this year, so definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they say sometimes when people are close to death, they start seeing or talking to people from the past, people who may have already passed on and stuff. So when she started saying that, I knew, I was like, okay, her time is short.
Right.
Yeah, like she was seeing Apollo, and he was like spiritually right there,
Yeah.
Exactly. And did y'all notice during the training montage, they really let Michael B. Jordan, they aged him up so he can look more like his father, like the beard and the mustache. They really kind of aged him up to make him look more like Apollo. That's what I feel like I noticed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So anybody else have any thoughts on why do they always have to kill off the people, especially the mothers? Like I'm still
it's part of the stakes. The stakes got to be higher. It's part of the motivation. Similar to Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever when they killed off the queen, and then Shuri became Black Panther. It's all.
I don't like it.
That formula is the same.
Yeah.
Get off of it. I don't like it.
I feel you. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Keep our Black mamas alive. You know what I mean? Come on. We need Big Mama.
Right. All right, y'all. So we already touched on the pink elephant in the room. There was no Rocky, no Stallone. I think the way they kind of played it, they almost, if he was to have passed away, that's the way they kind of made it seem. Even though they didn't say he did, but because no one even mentioned his name. Like, who said you could still mention his name? Like, I wonder whose decision was to cut him totally out, where there was no mention, there was no thinking about it.
Can I add?
Oh, did they mention?
No, I'm gonna add. Okay, yeah. But also, from what I saw in the interview, because they did ask Sylvester Stallone, why is he not going to be in Creed 3? And the way they were going to have Rocky in there, he was just going to be like in the corner. He didn't really have a big role. You know what I'm saying? To really kind of like push there, Rocky's still here, his presence is still here.
Yeah.
So he would have just been in the corner, just like, go ahead, keep doing, doing what you do. That's it. Wasn't a big role. So he wasn't feeling that.
Yeah, I heard it was creative differences.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I touched a little bit of that on my non-spoiler review, where I agree with him somewhat and I don't agree with him somewhat, because I feel like he's talking out of both sides of his neck, talking you know, he's saying that he don't have anything against Michael B. Jordan and that, but then he's also saying that, you know, he didn't like the direction. It was getting too dark. It wasn't the way that he would write it and all this other stuff. So I understand. I thought the whole position was against Irvin Winkler. I thought it was him. But then it feels like there's some other types of little things that's kind of at play here. So, you know, I don't 100% agree with his choice, but when you say that his role was going to be very small and minute, then I could see him kind of like, you know, but it just feels like too much to just say it's just, oh, I don't want to be a corner man. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I think it has something to do with like just some contractual stuff too. I think it was business along with that. Yeah.
Did you miss him, Ray? Did you miss Stallone?
Not really. I think this was good. Like I said, I think this was a nice segue into the Creed verse and getting the audience to get a little bit more familiar with what some of the things that drive Adonis in his own right. So I forgot about Sylvester Stallone almost completely. I was like, yeah, I wanted to find out more, to be honest, about Damian. Damian had and you know, I wanted to see
more him,
how they were going to integrate him into possibly the next Creed.
Absolutely.
He got to be in there if it's another.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed seeing Greg. I was like,
I was gonna say about Jonathan Major's character going forward is that his age, you know, even though he's in great shape, you know what I'm saying? I think his age, you know, I just feel like he's kind of aged out of that sport. So I didn't know whether or not he really did have like a huge shot with doing that. Okay, y'all, Brillo gotta go. So
thanks for having me, Nita.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Ray.
Hey, pleasure.
Seeing you, brother.
All right, bro. Salute, bro.
All right, make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Check him out. He was just live earlier at 7:00 doing Snowfall. Yes.
Oh man, he's okay.
Yeah, he was doing Snowfall.
Double shift.
So, yeah, I know it's an hour and a half. I only want to keep y'all about an hour, but we
it's been an hour and a half already. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, right. We was having a good discussion. A great discussion. Yeah. So for me, I missed him. I did miss. It felt like a secret sauce. Like, but if you notice in Creed 2, the last thing that Rocky said when he won, he was like, "It's your time now." So I thought that was like the perfect segue to usher him into his own, like, even if he wasn't going to be there in the next movie, he pretty much kind of like just passed the torch on to him, per se.
And it's only right. Like, come on, it's really time to move it forward. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against Sylvester Stallone and Rocky. Like, that was what? We're talking about the 80s, the 90s. Come on, even 2000s. Like, you've been around for like 3 decades, you know, already.
Yeah, so. That first one was like the late 70s, wasn't it? Like 78 or early 80s?
It was like early 80s.
Rocky?
Early 80s. Yeah. Which I love. I love all the Rocky fans. You know, I love it all.
Yeah.
You know, but it's time to pass. It's time to move forward. Move forward.
Yeah. So y'all, we getting ready to rank them. We're getting ready to rank them. All right, make sure y'all hitting them thumbs up before y'all leave up out of here. We're almost finished. I got a couple little things at the end, but for me, it is Creed 2, number 1, Creed 1, number 2, Creed 3, number 3. That is my only because I think I really had a really strong reaction to Creed 2 just because Rocky 4 was my favorite of the Rocky. So it kind of like it just kind of just felt that way. Like it just hit me in the feels as far as, and like I said, he lost, and I love to see like a redemption, a comeback story, and so. You know, just
I thought so. She said Rocky won 1970. I thought it was late 70s.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other ones that followed were like in the 80s and stuff, but the original one was like late 70s.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just talking about when I saw it as a boy. That's
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all of it. I mean,
dude,
most
I'm like 6 years old. Yeah, I saw it in the 80s. But yeah, it probably came out in the 70s. Yeah.
Nigga said Rocky 4 was the worst. Oh yeah, you probably didn't like him getting killed. It was okay. What I'm about to say, Rocky 3 is my number one favorite though. But yeah, it's one of my 4 is my favorite. So what do we got, Tiff? What you got?
Oh, I agree with Inga. She said Creed 1 and 3 are the best. I think so too. And not that I didn't like Creed 2, but I think the original setting it up,
Number
setting
one.
everything up. Yeah. And him stepping into his power, taking his dad's name, and then this last one.
And 3 and 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Jay. What about you?
I'm gonna go 1, 3, and 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Because 1, he was, the super underdog. Like, he really had to work hard. We really saw him from the ground up, just striving to, come into himself. And then Creed 2, yeah, okay, boom, here we are. But as far as like the storyline, the feels, the cinematography, 1, 3, and then 2.
Okay. Ray?
I concur. 1, 3, that's about right.
1, 3. Okay. All right. Well, I think that is it. What is the last thing I had? I had a couple of we talked about the fight montage, the score. Now, did y'all notice that he does not have his own like dun, 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 like
song?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so I said score or lack thereof. Now
but it was playing. It was playing differently, but you can hear the Rocky score playing in the background.
Yeah, but I wanted, like, if we're leaving Rocky alone and we're going into Creed, I wanted Creed to have his own.
Oh, they were playing the hip hop. That's what they did.
It's playing Big Sean, right?
They were playing Big Sean, and then in the previous,
that's a
and in the previous Creeds, when he was training in Philly, they were playing Meek Mill. So
soundtrack was very LA. Of course, they were in Hollywood and all that stuff. So I got all of that or whatever. But that's a soundtrack. Like, I wanted him to have his own sound. But why would he have his own sound if he was retired and then this kind of like he just claimed a title just to keep Damian from, like, I don't know. Like, that's what feels off about this story to me. Like, is he retired or he just did that to keep Damian from moving forward, or like, is he about to be back in the ring? Does he need his own? Like,
I think he retired again. Really? I think he retired again.
Yeah,
I think
he's the champion. He's the champion, right? He's the world champion now. So yeah.
And I guess he just threw that challenge in just because Dame was flexing. He was
personal. It was personal. Let's go.
Yeah, it was personal.
Yeah, so we talked about Amara. Ray said, I wish he had a picture of her. I wonder, like, do y'all have any actresses? Was there an actress in the Eternals that was a deaf actress that could possibly play that role? Does she look like she could be
yeah, I know who you're talking about. No, I don't think she looks like her, but I know you're talking about.
Okay. Nah, yeah. I was wondering, like, who can we?
It's probably someone we don't even know yet. You know,
right? Because it is in the deaf community. So I mean, the hearing impaired, rather.
I mean, honestly, like y'all remember the Super Bowl? I mean, Shorty that was doing the signs. So like, let's throw her in there somewhere. Like, she was doing her thing at the Super Bowl for Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
she was.
Right.
Yeah, she ate that up.
Right. So everybody said, well, some people said they missed him, but a lot of people in the chat said that Stallone wasn't needed. So do you think because he's been so vocal And if they renegotiate some contracts, do you see him coming back for any future Creed installments?
I think so. Even in a smaller role, just for nostalgic
Like
sake.
a cameo, maybe?
Yeah, just for nostalgia sake. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tiffany. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't mind seeing Sylvester Stallone while he's still alive. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I love the Rocky franchise. So for him to come back and be like, "Hey, come here," talk to him, give him some whatever tips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. I like seeing him. I like seeing the interaction.
Yeah. So we all did the future of the franchise. I think I already said I would like it to go with the women's boxing or MMA. It could be a MMA type thing, or since they was liking anime and all that stuff, maybe they can get into that. And because I think that's becoming more popular than boxing, because boxing feels like it's kind of falling off. Like, I want somebody big to bring it back into, because I remember during the Tyson era, all of that stuff. Boxing used to be such a big, huge thing, like back in the day. And like now, we got Mayweather in the ring with, what's the YouTuber? Paul something?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, so I don't know. I really would love boxing to make a comeback, but I mean, if it's going in different directions, we can go with Amara with the female boxing, the MMA. We can do some things to kind of spice it up or something. What do y'all think for the future of the franchise?
It looks great. He just broke a record, $100 million at the box office this weekend.
Oh,
and
he did
stuff.
100 million. Okay.
So there's going to be 100 million already. So there's going to be more incentive for them to make more.
Oh yeah.
Did it open worldwide? I thought domestically they did 58.
Yeah, 58.
Yeah.
If they open worldwide, so it's probably like a worldwide
100 million.
Huge. That's huge.
That is
so huge, especially for Michael B. Jordan, the whole, like, everybody. That's so
his
huge.
first directorial debut too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a big statement. So
he's killing it. He's killing it right now. Got his Hollywood star.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Look, he's not the corny dude. Y'all saw that? How he checked?
Hey, Tiffany, that's a whole different conversation. Like, we gonna go another hour on that one.
I never said it, but but it was funny how he checked her on the red carpet. Like, oh, the corny dude, right? I was like, wow.
Yep. It's like, you ain't corny no more. Yeah, already know that. You at my premiere. Come on.
Right.
All right, y'all. We had a great discussion. I love just talking, chopping it up with you guys. Ray, thank you so much for joining.
No problem.
I appreciate everybody's time. Tiffany, VKJ, your first time on the channel. Love your energy. You really brought it. Let's talk about what is next on everybody's channel. Tiffany, we're gonna start with you. She has like everything. They're doing is so much content with all the shows. So go ahead and just run down your lineup.
Okay. Well, if you guys haven't seen me, I'm on the spot. Real talk. I have two other co-hosts, Ron and Tierra. We're doing BMF recaps. Your Honor, Godfather Harlem. We're doing Snowfall. We got another BMF interview coming up this week. And you guys will see that this week. So I'm not gonna tell y'all who that is yet. But that and pretty soon we'll start with Bel Air as well too. Doing Bel Air recaps.
All right.
Look forward to that.
Nice. Yes, and Jay, VKJ TV.
Yes. So VKJ TV. Of course, we got the Bel Air recaps. We got the Godfather Harlem recaps. We got Power Book 2 coming.
Yes.
We did the two really just the last interview we did with Rama Montakabi from BMF and Rayon Lawrence from K9, right? We also got the podcast coming real soon as well. We just got the apparel. We launched the VKJ TV drip and swag apparel. Check it out. We got more interviews coming as well. But definitely look out for everybody's buzzing for the Power Book 2 Ghost.
Yes,
season.
they are. They are.
It's gonna be crazy, Tiffany. You already know it's gonna be crazy.
It's getting ready to go be.
So we about to get busy. We about to be real busy, Tiffany and Nita, for real. We about to be real busy. So look out for all of us, fam. Look out for all of us. Make sure you subscribe to all of our channels because we gonna be breaking it down. We may come back together again. Who knows? That'd be great.
Yes. I was like, some of y'all like to have y'all on the show. Nita has been on our show a lot, so love to have you guys on our show as well.
We can hop around each other's channel. It's all good. It's all love.
Yes.
All right, and Ray,
you can check us out on A-Side Boxing. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We do commentary on the fight, so we're always willing to give you our opinion. We enjoy arguing with each other on live. So to make it spicy, we have someone who specializes in arguing. We have an attorney who makes good arguments. He's a fan, and we also have myself, former boxer, and my brother. He's a former boxer. We love the fan engagement, and we look forward to the next episode that'll probably be released this Sunday.
All right.
I'm gonna tell my dad about your podcast. He would love that. And he's somebody who likes to converse, call in, give his opinion, and is passionate and stuff like that too. So I can see him getting into your podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll make sure I did put the link. The links are in the description box, but if Jay, I want you to put the links of your podcast. That's the only ones I didn't have. So put that in the comments.
Absolutely.
And I will drop it into the
Appreciate it. Appreciate the love always.
Yes, it's been all love. I appreciate your time. Had a great time. Thanks everybody for liking the video. Let's end that poll and see what we are saying. Okay, just the last thing I'm gonna do is end this poll. Oh shoot.
I got somebody like that too. I got somebody that specializes in arguing. Shout out to Amy Veronica, my co-host Amy Veronica. Again, happy birthday, 40th birthday. She's gonna be in Bali. I'm mad because she ain't take me. It's all good.
Bali is amazing. Wow, that's gonna be a wonderful trip.
Man, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Shout out to A Boogie.
All right, y'all. So the poll is saying that Creed 1 is the fan favorite of the people that are in the chat. Creed 1, where it all started. Ryan Coogler, he's great with what he does. So and Creed 2 and Creed 3 was tied at 30%. Okay. So
they still gotta digest the IMAX film and all the special effects. You know what I'm saying?
They have more time. A winner.
Yeah, you can't see it on the Trigger Net family. You need to go see IMAX.
Because even in the movie theater, if you're not in the right theater, it's not going to play well.
Yeah,
it just didn't. I was like, "Where's the sound? I need the sound." So anyway, yes, y'all, we are done here. Make sure you smash the like. If you liked it, make sure you share it with other people. Make sure you comment anything that we didn't touch on, whatever you agree with, disagree with, put it down in the comments so we can chat it up with you. We need to get into the algorithm. So go ahead and do that. And so, y'all, we'll see you in the next one, y'all.
All right.
Salute.
Peace.
Bye.